From the Opopco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is an OSU update with John Helsley. I'm Jenni Carlson. John, a couple weeks ago, the Cowboys went to Waco, lost by 41. This last weekend, Waco, the Bears come to town, the Baylor Bears come to town. Total turnaround. Cowboys nearly win. What in the world changed for OSU to stay in that game on Saturday?
Well, Jenni, I think it was a lot of things, really. You've got, number one, the Cowboys played a bad game in Waco, and Baylor played a great game. You know, these 15 three-pointers. They obviously have a great size advantage inside, a lot of offensive rebounds in that game. Some of those things had to come back together. And yet, the Cowboys needed a lot more to happen as well. You know, they're really outmanned in a matchup with Baylor. But they played well. Brian Williams had a big game. You know, they got steady performance, you know, and kind of uglied the game up a little bit. They hung around, 64-60 is the final. They had the lead late, couldn't quite get it done.
You mentioned Brian Williams, the man they call B-Will up in Stillwater. He hadn't had a game quite like he had on Saturday, obviously against a great team. Was this just brewing? Did you sense it coming for him?
This is a guy that when you talk to Travis Ford, they talk about what he does in practice, and we've seen glimpses in games. You know, he brings a lot of energy, always plays hard, and they've talked about this guy can really shoot it. Well, we really haven't seen that a lot in games. We saw it Saturday. He hit 3 3-pointers, took the ball aggressively to the hole. And the other thing he does, he plays really good defense. He's a good player and a guy I think down the road can be a nice player for the program.
You know, this was a loss no matter how you shake it out. They still lose to Baylor. Now Iowa State comes to town. It's kind of interesting that they went to Iowa State earlier this season, nearly won. That was kind of when they seemed to turn a little bit of a corner and start playing well. How important is an actual win this week against the Cyclones?
I think it's crucial when you talk about, do you want to make the NIT? And the Cowboys would. They'd love to get the NIT. I think this is a big game. You're right. It was Iowa State that followed the Baylor game the last time. And a lot of people wondered, well, how are they going to respond? And they went up there and they played well, led by 6 late, couldn't quite get that one done. This one at home, I think they need to find a way. They got to win home games. You've got to win home games in this league. They've got to somehow manage to find their way to hang around that 500 mark to make themselves attractive for the NIT.
All right, thanks, John. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.